This is a short video demonstrating the use of the perfect loop for a collection of thick sections for light microscopy observation. The perfect loop is relatively straightforward in its use and design. It consists of a loop, this being the light microscopy loop, which has a much larger hole than the transmission microscopy loop, and then a handle that the loop is of course going to fit into, that has a compression ring over the top of it that will hold the loop in. When we're working with the loop, we don't want to bend it or get oils on it from our fingers. So I usually hold it by the very bottom of the loop. If you have any issues, you can always dump it out on a piece of filter paper and pick it up from there. If we take a look at the size of that and compare that then to the transmission loop that we use for thin section, we can notice that it's much larger. In order to put it together, we just take the handle, and it's got a compression fitting, as I mentioned, on the end of it. We loosen the compression fitting and then put that in there. It does have a little bit of an orientation, so if you take a closer look, sometimes then that makes it a little bit easier. Once we get it in there, we're just going to tighten down that compression fitting. We don't want it to be too loose. And now we can get ready for our thick sectioning. Once the thick sectioning starts and the sections come off, I have this block as being a very large block face, and so I'm only going to be able to collect one section at a time. If you have smaller block faces, you can have up to 2 or 3 sections within the one loop and put those on your glass slide. So here I've teased the sections apart so I can retrieve just one of them. I have a little bit of a knife mark down the middle, but as I push down firmly into the water to make sure that the water comes up with the loop, and we can see the section floating there. And then we simply place the loop down on our glass slide. We don't need to have a drop of water on there already. Now when you use this loop, be sure, if you're working with your glass and or diamond, that you don't get too close to the edge. So what I'm going to do is tease the section away from the edge, put it out into an area where my loop won't infringe on the knife edge, and again push down a little bit, bring it up, and we can see the section floating in there, and we put that down on the slide again. And that's all there is to it. If you wanted more sections, you could certainly repeat that process. And now we can take those sections over to the heater and dry them down for staining for thick sections. When we're done, either you can put it away as is, or you can take it apart, depending on how safe your lab is. Sometimes other people come in and start to use things. So we're just going to put the loop back in the container, tighten up our retaining compression fitting, and put the loop away, close it up, and so no one else uses it. It's not a bad idea to have your loop of your own, just like tweezers, so you don't have to worry about anybody else. Thank you very much.